A lot of people ask me how I get the curves for my feathers. It's been interesting because most people think that they're steamed somehow, and they aren't. I cut them out of these blocks of wood that I get, and you know I've been in logging camps for years, and I forage through burn piles and get the chunks that I need. But it all depends how I run this block of wood through the bandsaw. And the more aggressive I am, you know, through the machine, through my bandsaw, gives me the curves that I'm after. So it all depends how aggressive you are with the bandsaw. The biggest challenge for me on a big project like this is to make it look like the wind is going through the feathers, to make it as real as possible. So this set of feathers here is a prototype of what I kind of experimented with to fix onto the real eagle. But it's quite complex because I wanted to get the curves looking realistic. I wanted to get the way they're placed together is important too, because this is the main long feather, this one's in the middle, and this is the short one. So they need to be sized properly. And then I'm hoping it's really going to give a good indication of how the realism of the project. So these are the rough cuts off the bandsaw right now, and I'll just go over to the project and show you sort of the application to this big eagle here. Now these guys, these are all finished feathers. They just have to be stained, but this is the same red cedar. So I need to match up this row that I'm following here. So these guys, when they're all sanded and shaped a little more carefully, this is, you know, just the rough stages. But when these are all finished and glued, then they will go on to this next course of feathers. And then I just continue those all the way along to the body, and then start my next course on top of that. So I'm looking at probably 4 or 5 more courses to finish off this wing. I estimate when the second eagle is done, all complete, I actually have to count all the feathers, but there's going to be, in this one eagle alone, there's going to be easily 600 feathers. And each feather is handcrafted. So it's quite a time-consuming project. Right down to the small feathers on the belly, you know, to the plumage. I estimate when this project is all finished, we're probably looking at 1,200 feathers. So, and every feather has to, you know, it's handcrafted, individually handcrafted, so it takes time for the shaping, sanding, and application process. So it's a labor of love. Whenever this eagle is finished, my goal is to have it so realistic looking, you know, and I'm spending lots of time on the detail, and I really need to get it as detailed as possible and as real as possible. So my goal is, when it's hanging in the venue, wherever it's going to go, for people to see this big piece hanging there and say, wow, that looks like that's amazing. That, you know, that piece looks real. And that's what it's all about, is getting it as real as possible.